friends, welcome back to my make-believe cooking show. I'm Jen with Jen's Extraordinary Life, and today we're going to make some ham and cheese sliders. These are super easy to make, and everybody's going to love them. So we have some people coming over tonight, and we're just doing appetizers and quick little finger foods, so this is the perfect dish for that. So here's what you're going to need. You can get 2 packs of the King's Hawaiian Rolls, or if your store has it, if you can get the 24 pack, it'll be enough. Some Virginia baked ham slices. Line a cookie sheet, and I took this pack, picked the cookie sheet that was the same size as the pack, and that's the one I lined. That's just a little tip. You're going to need some Swiss cheese slices, a little bit of Worcestershire sauce, some poppy seeds, stick and a half of butter, some Dijon or stone ground mustard, and then I also like to add some little onions to it just for a little kick. But we'll get started here. The first thing we're going to do to prep this is take your rolls and slice them in half. All right, so I'm going to take the tops and lay them over here on my bag. And then I'm going to take the bottoms, which for whatever reason sometimes kind of stick to the bottom of this paper, which reminds me we need to spray our tin foil. So let me grab the pan real quick. We'll just count that a blessing. That was God's little reminder that I was about to forget the pan. All right, so we're just take our little sheet pan here and pop our rolls best you can on that. See how nice that fits? It's perfect. Okay, I like to go through and make sure they're all kind of separated so that that doesn't become a thing after you cook them, but it's up to you. It's not required, obviously. You do you. All right, so you've got them all kind of just pulled apart a little bit. That looks pretty good. I'm going to set this aside, and then we'll get to working on the ingredients, the actual parts of the sandwich. All right. So we're going to take our ham and cheese first. It's going to be the first thing that we're going to work with. Looks good. Now, I'm going to take our ham, and I like to take a little stack first and cut it in half, because you're not going to need this whole big giant thing on each square, but need about 1/3 on each one. Cut it in half and then cut the halves into thirds. And so then I'm going to kind of take it and fold it over on each one. You get the picture. You just want to have enough ham on each little square. Sometimes if the buns aren't always uniform in size, so sometimes you might want to, and neither is your ham. Sometimes you might have to use more than 2. So it looks like I'm ending up mostly with about 3 little pieces per slider. Again, it's your kitchen. You do what you want to do. If you don't have that much meat on hand, then you're not going to use that much meat. And then the very last piece, I think it's kind of mandatory to just eat it. Because ham is good stuff. All right. Sorry, I had to go wash my hands because OCD. Anyway, now our Swiss cheese. Those little bad boys are about the size of a fourth a piece of Swiss cheese. So I take my cheese and divide it into fourths and then put 2 pieces on each sandwich. I'm going to stack these and cut several at a time. And I kind of just crisscross them. You don't have to. You can do it however you want to do it. It's your kitchen. But in my head, you get more coverage if you crisscross them. There's probably no science to that. It's probably math, I guess, actually. Area. Something like that. So 12 slices of Swiss cheese in the sandwich slices, divided into fourths, works out perfectly. And then you're going to put your tops back on here. All right, now I'm going to just make sure that after I lay them on here that they're kind of all separated. But so after I do this, then we're going to make this scrumptious topping that we put on, and then that kind of soaks in the fridge and gets all yummy. And that's why you kind of want to refrigerate it first. But again, you don't have to. Like if you get home and you have the ingredients or whatever, or you're stopping by the store on your way home from work and your family's wanting these, or it's game day or whatever the deal is, and you want to make these and you didn't have time to do it ahead of time, it's fine. I've done them before without doing them ahead of time and it works out just fine. All right, so that pan is prepared. So now let's do the rest of the ingredients. I like to take a big 2-cup measuring cup, and then you're going to use a 1.5 sticks of butter. You could do this on the stove, but I just pop it in the microwave and stir it. Either way is fine, whatever your preference is. I do like to cut my butter up a little bit instead of just popping the whole stick in there, but you could just put the whole stick in there. It just melts a little bit easier and faster this way. All right, now, this is where the fun begins. We're going to take 1.5 teaspoons each of the rest of the ingredients. So that's your mustard. Here's a teaspoon, and here's a half-ish. Now, I don't really measure this when I'm making it. I just kind of eyeball it, so you don't worry if you don't have measuring spoons handy or whatever, you can eyeball it. I love these things, right? I don't, like people always use them for green bean casserole, but okay, that's probably way more than 1.5 teaspoons, but it's my show. I do what I want. All right, I'm gonna pop this in the microwave, let this melt real quick. The beauty of this is it doesn't make a huge mess. And then the last ingredient that we're going to use is poppy seeds. And so once we get all of that stuff melted up, we're going to pour it over our tray of rolls, and then we're just going to put poppy seeds on it. So let me check this butter. It's been in there for about 30 seconds. I'm going to stir it. Okay, so put that back in for another 30 seconds. Now, if you didn't have these, I just wanted to say, if you don't have these, the crispy fried onions, it's not a big deal. Most recipes I don't think even use this, but you could put onion powder instead. I just always have these on hand, so that's what I like to use. All right, let's see. This is good and mixed up. Okay, my butter is not quite melted through all the way, so I'm going to give it a good stir. And I'm going to put it in there for about another 20 seconds or so. In the meantime, I'm going to grab some tin foil, because after we get this on here, we're going to cover it and pop it in the fridge, and then I will pull it out about 20 minutes before I'm ready to bake it. And pop it in the oven and cook them, and then they are going to pull apart and just be absolutely delicious. So I'll show you a picture of them when they're finished. For now, I'm just going to take this and pour this goodness over our little Sammies here. Like, I feel like these King's Hawaiian Rolls are so good, I could just go ahead and eat it now without coating them and baking them and everything. But with that cheese melted and all of this goodness soaked into these buns, it is just so much better. All right, so sometimes you get a little bit of this mustardy stuff left in the bottom, so just find you a roll that looks like it didn't, like this little guy and this little guy look like they didn't quite get covered as much. I take the back of my spatula and just kind of make sure, bun down. Make sure each little guy is buttery. Okay, and then I'm going to take my poppy seeds and I'm just going to sprinkle them on top. Now, if you can't do poppy seeds, there was a time I had a little bout of diverticulitis and couldn't do seeds. So you can totally make this without the seeds if you are not a seed person, but I can have them now, so I love them. All right, that's it. I'm going to wrap it with foil, put it in the fridge, and then I'll come back, and then you only have to cook these for about 20 minutes when it's finished. So we'll be back. Okay, there they are, ooey gooey, all that stuff baked into them, the cheese all melted, the ham warm, the buns are so fresh, they were absolutely delicious. We hope you enjoy. I'd love for you to like, comment, share, all the things that you need to do, and we hope to see you again in the next one. Let us know if you make these, and enjoy. Have an extraordinary life.